The City of Manchester is often historically credited as one of the first free public library services, and it's taken the exciting decision to redevelop its library service across the city. Chatting to me now is Councillor Mike Amesbury, who's the Executive Member for Culture and Leisure. That's
Hello.
a mouthful of a title, isn't it?
It is.
Now, libraries. As a child, I loved going to the library, but I'll be honest, I haven't been in 20 years. I presume a lot's changed. What has changed?
A lot of things have changed. Out has gone the shush brigade, and now they're a real hive of basically creativity, the chance to... Obviously, the bread and butter are still books and literature, but technology has moved on, so you can certainly get CDs, various computer software games, so Wii games, obviously very, very, very popular. And now we have a 24-hour library service, so you can basically book books online, pay your fines online. So things have really moved forward.
So they have moved on, but in this world, I'll be honest, if I haven't been for 20 years, there'll be a few others that haven't. So what will make it appealing to us?
Well, in Manchester, you know, we certainly booked the national trends. Manchester Central Library, for example, had 1.1 million visitors last year, which is considerably more than the British Library. And, of course, our branch libraries are very successful as well, serving 11 communities around Manchester. And the 5-year programme you mentioned, we're actually refurbing, reinvesting, and in some cases building brand new libraries, such as in North Manchester, Higher Blakely, the library will be called the Avenue, refurbishing the likes of Longsight Library, £1.1 million there, and Moss Side Library as well. So it's quite radical, it's quite visionary, and what better time to do this in terms of the current economic challenging times that we face.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's a huge investment, and if you're honest with us, is the footfall what you'd want it to be in libraries?
It can get even better, and of course, in terms of the investment that goes in, we'll ensure that is the case. But in terms of other services you can access at the libraries, for example, we had 80 people that actually got into job opportunities last year through a service where we have advisors, careers advisors, that deal with adults that may be unemployed, in some cases long-term unemployed. So services such as that are a real lifeline for people at this moment in time. And
you mentioned these credit crunch times. You have to pay to join the library?
No, you don't. It's, as you rightfully said in your introduction there, Manchester Library Service was one of the first free library services in the world, and that remains the case.
So how is the library then funded?
It's funded via taxation, which I think is the most fair and progressive way to fund a library service. Don't get much revenue from the likes of fines. Certainly do get income from, we do have various authors that visit, so we may have events where it's a one-off and there might be a small charge, such as a major author comes and promotes the book and so forth, but maybe do that in partnership with the likes of Waterstones and so on. Yeah.
And just sticking with the fines there that you mentioned, how much is a fine nowadays?
Fines are relatively cheap indeed. I think we're reviewing that at the moment, so I couldn't give you the exact price.
Okay, but not a deterrent, you know, you shouldn't be deterred by fines.
Certainly not, certainly not.
And do mobile libraries still exist?
They do. We have, well, they have 45 stops, and an average of each mobile library, I think, is 2,000 issues of books. So they visit places such as it could be residential homes. We certainly have a number of people that may have disabilities, so we'll do individual visits to homes and so forth.
Okay.
So it's as accessible as possible.
Well, I look forward to seeing the new revamped libraries, and I promise when they're revamped, I will pay a visit.
You need to.
Thanks very much
Thank
indeed.
You.